episode. In this episode, I'm going to be going over dentures. Now, before I start, as always, I'm not a dentist. I just have many years of experience in the dental field, selling treatment plans, explaining to patients primarily what it was that the doctor found, how to handle it, what potentially could have caused it to happen, and what can one do to prevent it from happening. In addition to taking care of it at that moment, as well as going over finances, and giving different options for financial options for somebody to take care of the problem that they have. Now, without further ado, dentures. So what are dentures? Dentures are primarily given, pretty much every single time, given to somebody who has already lost all their teeth, be it either on the top arch or on the bottom arch or both. And it's pretty much a last resort for somebody who's lost all their teeth, so that way they can continue to eat properly. Now, obviously, although not obviously, because some might not know, you cannot use your dentures as your natural teeth because they're not as strong. So there are a lot of things that you can normally do with your teeth. An extreme example, like opening up a bottle or beer or something. But with dentures, you don't have that availability. Now, with time, we have been able to put implants and use implants to attach dentures into your mouth for them to be more comfortable and more stable in your mouth and not have to worry about them slipping out of your mouth. Like a lot of people have those accidents, and it's one of the reasons why they don't like dentures so much, as well as eventually people get tired of it because it is something that you have to get accustomed to. In most occasions, you just have to deal with it. So there are a couple of things that I want to go over that a lot of people tend to not know when it comes to getting dentures. A lot of people have the misconception that once you get dentures that you're pretty much done. You never have to go to the dentist, you're good to go, anything related to your mouth is done. And that's far from the truth. The truth of the matter is that even when you get dentures, you still have to go to the dentist, and if anything, you have to go to the dentist more often than normally. So normally, you have to get your cleanings every 6 months, and if you have perio, then you should go every 4 months. When you have dentures, you should go at least once a year or even twice a year, and even intermittently more times during the year. Let's say, for example, if you have implants with your dentures, you should definitely go to the dentist more often because it requires more maintenance. One, when you get your teeth removed, and I've spoken about this before of what happens when you get your teeth extracted. When you don't have any teeth, your entire jaw structure starts to thin out. Now, depending on when you got your dentures, is primarily how much you can guesstimate about how much bone you've lost throughout time. So if somebody who had dentures, if you had it for 10 years, you've lost quite a significant amount of bone. If you've been having it for 20 years, you probably, maybe, depending, because everybody is different, so I'm not saying that everybody potentially, but there's a good chance that you might not even qualify to get implants because you have lost a significant amount of bone. And there is a time frame from when you don't have teeth to qualifying to get implants, because while you can get bone grafting, there's only so much bone grafting that can be added to an area that's low with bone, that has very little bone density. So you might just get stuck with dentures. So if you're a person that has dentures and you've had it for a short period of time, even 10 years, there's nothing wrong with going to the dentist and asking the dentist and see what you could getting a special x-ray like a CBCT, which is a cone beam x-ray. It's a full 3-dimensional x-ray of your entire mouth, so that way they can check the bone density and see what you qualify for, and to see if you can get multiple implants to give it more structural stability on the denture. But going back to when you get your teeth extracted, when you get your denture, you should go to the dentist or get checked up every 6 to 10 months. The reason why is because like I said, your jawbone starts thinning out. And when they do impressions as of the moment they did the impressions and where your jawbone structure was at that time. But your jawbone still continues to decay over time because your body's not using it. And the body itself has a form of adapting and getting rid of things that it doesn't need. So your jawbone, because it has no teeth, your body does not need it anymore, so therefore it starts decaying over time, and you lose that jawbone structure, that bone that was there to hold your teeth, which is also why with time, people, as you get older, and it's not really as you get older, it's just as time progresses with you not having your teeth, your jawbone starts to get weaker. So therefore you see a lot of older people that have accidents where something might hit their jaw and it breaks, and it's because their bone is so thin and so weak and fragile that can very easily happen. Implants or if you're going into the point where you have to get a denture, do help with that and help prevent jawbone loss, because the implants, when they're inserted into the jawbone, they actually help stabilize the area and prevent it from losing bone. It's one of the major benefits of getting implants, which I have stated before in my implant video. So when you going back to dentures and stuff, you should go back every year at least, or at least contact your dentist and and inform your dentist, hey, when I put my denture on, I've noticed that it's been getting a lot more looser. It doesn't fit me as much as it did in the beginning. In those situations, you have to go back to the dentist and get what's known as a reline. And a reline is pretty much that they take your denture, they send it to the lab, or sometimes the dentist, if they have a lab inside their office, does it there, and you can get it sometimes the same day, but if not, then it'll take about 24 hours. It's a quick work. They take some impressions or a scanning depending, and then they send it out to the lab, or they do it there, and then they readjust your denture. There is going to come a point though where they can't readjust it as much enough anymore, only because your jawbone has changed so much that it's completely different from what it was before, and you have to get a new denture. Now, it's not something that happens 2 or 3 years. Again, it's completely different. It's completely dependent on how much bone you're losing throughout the years. Every person is different. But you definitely do have to get that checked out. Ideally, the one thing that you want to do to prevent that from happening, or you have to get a new denture all the time, or even get adjustments, is to get implants. Because again, because the dentures sit on the implant, they're more stable, and also your implants don't move. They stay in their place because the bone in the area stays in place. Now, when I had stated earlier that you do have to go to the dentist more often when you do get implants. The reason why is because your implants are not protected by your gums, just like your teeth are, or your jawbone structure. So they're more prone to getting dirty. And if they get calculus and everything, and you are not taking care of the area, you have to get special toothbrushes and floss, and also mouthwash to take care of the implants. Because if you don't, and they fill up with plaque and stuff, you can get what's known as implant periodontitis. And when you get implant periodontitis, it's the same thing as periodontitis that you get on your normal teeth, but this is much faster because, again, your gums are not protecting the implant at all. The area where the implant is not the gums don't surround the implant like they did if you have your natural tooth. That does not happen. So if you don't take care of it thoroughly and go to your dentist, get special cleanings for that, then you are more than likely going to lose your implants, and that is a big investment that you definitely don't want to lose. So you definitely have to take care of that. If you're somebody who has implants and dentures and you haven't done that, then please contact your dentist, take care of them, and ask them specifically what toothbrushes you should buy. There are, again, special ones for implants and dentures and all that. Any form of prosthesis, there are special tools that you can use to clean that are very easily accessible in the stores. And definitely take care of that. So that's it for today. And as always, flourish and prosper.